I want to thank you all for coming. This is really an exciting time for us, and we're finally sharing with the community that we are an historic house, and we now have our plaque that says that we are on the State Historic Register. And I'm sure probably most of you are aware of the history of the house and how it was saved from demolition about 15 years ago by a group of East Longmeadow citizens that really cared about the history of East Longmeadow. And among those people are Jim McKnight, who was one of the original people on the committee to save this house. So it's just so good to see so many of you from town, and and I know that you share our enthusiasm for this event. Jim, do you want to sit?
No, I'll stand.
Okay.
I don't have that much to say.
He has all the history.
We started in '03 when we kind of got together and salvaged the operation. It was full of briars and small trees. It was just a mess. It was hard to believe what it is today from what it was then. And we had two people that were very kind of the drivers of this. One was Merle Stafford, you remember her, and Mary Swords. And Mary was very good. And those two gals beat on us and kept us together, and we finally got the funds raised to start with. The bank was very, very kind to us. They financed it without too much going on, but then eventually the town then got the preservation funds and took it over. And so it now belongs to us, I guess you might say. It was dedicated and is dedicated to do some cultural type things for the town. It's easy to have a ball team, it's easy to do this and that, but we wanted to bring a little something more to it. And so we have different programs, different speakers, and then we also use it as a rental unit for wedding receptions and family parties and most anything that fits into this. And we have a very dedicated group. I'm not active in it now, but I certainly was for many years. And some of these ladies that are doing it are doing it a heads-up job. Right now, I keep looking at that big tree over the barn, and I think I ought to do something with that. So that'll be a project we'll get after. But that's not more my line than it is some of the other things. It's a kind of a guy type of thing. It's against the gal type of thing, see? So yeah, probably the best thing is as we mull around, if you have any questions, ask some of us. I don't want to take too much time in rehashing everything, but it was a lot of work. Discouraging for a while. We threw in some of our own money, $500 a year, just to kind of keep it going and keep it solvent. And it did work out, and we're happy that we put the effort into it because it turned out to be a nice thing. I think I will call it quits. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Join us for some goodies, some punch. We'll take you on tours, answer any questions that you might have, and again, just thank you so much for coming and spending this time with us.
Okay, well, here we are in East Longmeadow, our hometown, and at the Norcross event. And if you could say who you are and the position that you have here, this would be a good way to start off our tour at the Norcross.
Okay. I'm Joan Noonan. I'm the president of the board of directors here at the Norcross. And the purpose of our gathering today was to dedicate the plaque that designates our historic importance to the town of East Longmeadow. And this is our plaque.
Okay, so the plaque says James Franklin.
Norcross House, and that we are listed on the State Register of Historic Places. in for the state of Massachusetts. The house was built in 1880 as the summer home of the Norcrosses, who owned several of the sandstone quarries here in town. And their primary home was in Worcester. So they would bring their family here for the summer, and this is where they lived, in this wonderful Victorian.
And it wasn't always as beautiful as what it is right now. We know there were committed people in town that were very instrumental in bringing this all about. Is there something you could add to that?
Yeah. About 15 years ago, the house was about to be demolished. The property actually had been sold to the Springfield Day Nursery, and they were going to build a nursery here. And several townspeople, Merle Safford, Jim McKnight, Mary Sherry, and several others, were influential in stopping all that, purchasing the property, and restoring it.
Which was a big project in itself.
Which is a huge project. And in fact, I think one of the funny little things, Merle, who had a catering business years ago, a lot of the work was done by the inmates of the jail. They would be brought out here on a daily basis, and she would be in the kitchen making soup for them. So she fed them every day.
Okay, so we were wondering, because it says we had heard that, and we said, wow, that's a wonderful program, because we did see all the work that had to be done, and I mean, it's such a beauty now, where before it was decaying and its inner beauty wasn't being able to show on that.
Exactly.
So it says Meryl's been involved with a lot of things. That's why when she had come back into town, it was when I had met her for the very first time. And when she started saying, oh, there's this about the town, there's this, I said, boy, this lady could be Mrs. East Long Meadow. And she surely was.
Yeah, she was a wonderful advocate, and we're very fortunate to have her daughter Melanie on the board at this point. So it kind of, she's following in that tradition.
And also, we had known Jim and Sandy Davis,
Yes.
and Jim's the one that was telling us about the restoration project going to take place and spreading the word as well, too. Being in the Lions Club, that's how we heard it.
Yep. Jim Davis was, one of the originators, and Mary Swords, and of course Sandy, Jim's wife, she wasn't on the board at that time, but was always there for every event.
Yeah, she's always been a worker bee, that's for sure. We all know that and appreciate that talent in Sandy.
So we're very fortunate to have Sandy with us now.
All right, so we'll be able to take a look inside and see what makes the Norcross house.
Absolutely.
Oh.
I'll take you into the main parlor.
Okay. Do we have to ring the doorbell first in case somebody's there?
Well, we could.
Okay.
Okay.
What's this room?
This is the main parlor,
Okay.
and this is where most of the entertaining occurred. And then we have the two smaller parlors. The parlor here with the fireplace and with the pocket doors is the men's parlor, where after dinner the men would be here having their brandy and smoke their cigars while the ladies were cleaning up, or I'll take you into the ladies' parlor, which is not quite as elegant as this.
Okay, so now we'll go on to the ladies' parlor.
Okay.
This one really has my interest piqued.
This is the ladies' parlor that is right off from the dining room, so it's very convenient for the women who will be doing all the cleanup work.
Mm-hmm. That's a beautiful chair.
Isn't that nice?
Yes, it is.
All of our furniture has either been donated or some, as this chair, is on loan.
I've never seen one with all the intricacies that are on that.
Yeah, it's
That's
a rocker.
beautiful.
It's really quite nice.
Looks like a piece of art at the same time as the
Yeah.
furniture.
Yeah, we've been very fortunate with people being very generous and donating items to us, and we're very careful too, only to accept pieces of furniture that are within the period.
Mm-hmm.
So that's important to just maintain the integrity of the house.
Okay, and there's another room coming up here.
The dining room.
Okay, this is beautiful in here.
You know, our dining room is used frequently when people rent the house for showers or christenings, and they can either have a sit-down dinner, or the furniture, the table can be pushed up against the wall and it can be used as a buffet table, which happens quite often. And then there's another exit over here, and also there is a stairway here that goes down to the basement and also up to the attic. So there's 2 stairways.
Oh, I wasn't
In the
aware of
house.
that.
And only 1 to the basement, but 2 that go up to the 2nd floor. And
And the beautiful music we're hearing in
Oh,
the
I know.
background was nice for this event. Okay.
Okay, our kitchen has obviously been modernized since 1880. My understanding is that in the original kitchen, there was a slate sink here that what is now a bathroom was a pantry. And on this side of the room was a huge stove. We're guessing that probably the refrigerator was in the pantry.
Yeah, that would make sense.
And this room was the mud room.
It's a beautiful
That-
piece there too with the natural wood.
Again, our furniture has all been donated. However, there are a few pieces, and I'm not sure about this, that Merle Safford had purchased at auction and donated to the house. And here is one of the pictures of how the house really looked back in 1880.
Very serious lyrics. Won't you write
So-
Take you back to the
Yeah.
old times right there, and
Yeah.
brings it right to life.
Oh, you done?
So when the restoration was done, they tried very hard to bring it back to what the original house looked like.
Hold tight till we come to the hill now. Then we're gonna go down the hill. You ready?
Now, what's the upstairs used for storage?
We do have some of the rooms furnished.
Sweetheart,
Is that something we could go up and
Yes,
see?
oh, absolutely.
Okay, go ahead. Then I'll let you lead the way.
And you'll notice that all the floors that you see here are all original floors. And I'll show you where that changes.
Oh, look at that too.
As we come into this area, this originally was a bathroom. Obviously not a very large bathroom, but a toilet.
Not a very tall one either.
Right, a toilet and a sink. And this was part of the doctor's office, he was the last owner of the house. And so this flooring is all new, right up to here.
Oh, okay, here's the entrance to the front.
Right. So that gives us another entrance and exit to the outside. But I think they did an incredible job.
I would say
just
so.
matching that flooring.
Yes. I never realized that, I've been in several times stuff, and
Yeah.
I never realized it's almost like the width of a ruler.
Exactly.
Going all the way down, and
Yep.
whoever restored it did a beautiful job.
Yeah, they really did a wonderful job.
Well, it seemed like it was a labor of love, because everybody's so dedicated to keeping the town history together. We lost our cameraman for a minute.
Yeah,
Almost
be
looks like a live kitten there.
Oh, I know. Be careful on the stairs. I say that because I'm usually the one that trips up them.
Me too, that's why I'm always holding on to things.
Okay, and our bathroom with two of the original fixtures, the sink and the tub. Obviously, we have modern water-saving toilets at this point in both bathrooms.
Well, you get simple structure so that it ties
Yeah,
into
it blend-
the two original
it
ones.
blends in.
Yep.
Yeah, it blends in very nicely.
And the little kitten there is really content. Okay, and the next room we're going into is which one?
Is the library.
Okay.
This is our library that is a work in process. And most of the books are from Merle Safford's collection of art books and history books. So we do need to get those into some kind of order at some point.
Maybe some students
Yeah,
might be interested in taking on the challenge,
exactly.
keeping history alive and living.
Absolutely. And it's kind of interesting the way the second floor is laid out.
Oh, one second, we come back here. There's a picture that says Orlando Norcross, and this
And
James Norcross. Was Orlando, were they brothers or?
I'm not sure.
We can cut that part out, but I was just curious because
Yeah, I'm not
I
sure.
did see Orlando, and I don't remember hearing that
I'll
name.
have to look through some of the books that Sandy has. But they were great, the Norcrosses were great auto and boating people.
Can't really read the books.
No, I'm going for reading the books.
Oh.
I'm looking at the picture there, the two pictures.
I can get those.
Yeah, those are Norcross pictures.
Yeah, I was able to focus on it. And the picture that's on that wall.
Yeah, the sketch at the town hall.
Yeah.
Looks different. Kind of different chimneys and stuff.
Okay, we're moving on to the next room. Oh, isn't this beautiful?
We have a child's bedroom that's furnished.
Mm-hmm. Boy, I didn't have this much room when I was growing up. This is beautiful.
But the way the second floor is laid out is kind of interesting, and you'll see when we go into the master bedroom. But all of these, including the library, that was a bedroom.
Mm-hmm.
So all the bedrooms are off from the master bedroom. So Mom and Dad didn't have a lot of privacy.
No, but the children had a lot of security.
Yes, they did, absolutely.
Okay.
At this point, what this room is mainly used for is when there are showers or wedding receptions here, folks will come up here just to kind of relax or change clothing,
It's a nice setup.
and it just kind of gets them away from the maddening crowd.
And be able to just relax and see the scenery that's about.
But it's just a very beautiful, sunny room.
Beautiful rug, too. Okay, that's a regular closet.
Yep. There aren't too many closets in this house. There are only 3. This is one, there's one in the library and one in the ladies' parlor. That's it. So not a lot of storage space. And then we go into one last bedroom that, again, is very definitely in process. We have a very nice bed frame and a chest of drawers and 2 antique mirrors, but we need some slats and a mattress to complete this
Sure.
room. And then this is the second floor portion of that's inner
That's the other
stairway
staircase?
that goes up to the attic.
Oh, so you can go downstairs this way?
Yeah, and up to the attic.
Not that I'm going up, but the attic's
Yeah, it's pretty,
attic
yeah.
stable.
It's
Personality,
attic. Yeah. Our attic is very attic and our cellar is.
It's definitely a cellar.
It's definitely a cellar, yeah. It isn't a place you'd want to spend a lot of time.
And this door, that was the library? Yes?
This-
No?
We're,
No? It's not a closet, very
At
sunshiny.
one point, this was a child's bedroom.
Ah,
We use this for storage.
sure.
And when I said there were only 3 closets, I didn't include this one. There is another closet here around the corner. So this is where we,
It's nice to have a place to put the Christmas tree.
Yeah,
Without having
exactly.
to reassemble it every
yeah,
year.
no question. But you can see, I mean, it was just a very nice, multi-function house
Definitely.
and great for a family.
Especially working out of the house itself so that you would have that available to you.
Yeah.
And yet not be far away from the business that
Yeah,
somebody needs their
exactly.
services. Okay, so what we're gonna.
Well, we continue to call the Norcross house is East Long Meadow's best-kept secret. We do rent for a variety of types of events. We're very interested in renting for art displays, cultural events, but we also rent for christenings, showers, we've had weddings here, just any kind of family event. Just people, families wanting to be together at holiday time. So there are all sorts of reasons to rent the Norcross. And, you know, as you can see, it's a comfortable place to be. And, you know, we try very hard to be, you know, good renters and to accommodate people's needs and schedules.
Okay, we were talking like everybody has a URL where you can go through and display, you know, what you have a little bit more on a website. So do you have a website address that people could look at?
We do. It's norcrosscenter.org, and we're also on Facebook. We have a sign-out in front of the house that says the Norcross House. And,
What is the actual physical address?
okay, the actual address, we're very close to the center of town, and it's 89 Maple Street. And that is the main highway from the center of East Long Meadow into Long Meadow.
So from the famous Rotary,
From the famous
Going down,
Rotary,
you'll
yep,
find it on the
on
right-hand
the
side.
right-hand side, and shortly thereafter will be St. Michael's Church, the high school, and then you would eventually go into Long Meadow. But we're within very easy walking distance to the center of town.
And travel distance coming from off
Yes.
of 91 and everything, so
Yeah,
it's very
yeah,
conveniently
yeah,
located.
Yeah, it's very accessible
Okay.
from 91 and
Oh.
also from 83.